Also, every Nigerian Christian needs to be quite aware of his or her Christian obligation of sanctifying the world in which he or she lives. This is even more demanding in the face of the massive failure of leadership and followership in our country. This has continued to intensify corruption, insecurity, loss of the sanctity of human life, and the abysmal infrastructural collapse across our country. The situation in our country is very serious. Even a look at the quality of life, quality of people who have emerged from the primary elections across the political parties in Nigeria in various levels leaves more to be desired. The result of this is that many of our people are almost in a depressive dismay. Most times, they look upon religion as a way out, but unfortunately, sometimes scammed by some dubious people who have played their ways into the religious sin. So what is the way out? Which way, Nigeria? In the Catholic Bishops' Conference in Nigeria, we have taken some unusual actions to call the political leadership of our country to order. Apart from our numerous communiques and public pastoral statements, we have gone onto the streets to protest as an Episcopal Conference. An Archbishop in Nigeria has also led street protests with his faithful in our various dioceses. We have even visited the President and communicated to him in a clear and distinct manner about the challenging situation in the country. We have severally called the people of God to prayer and issued prayers. The prayer for Nigeria in distress and the prayer against bribery and corruption in Nigeria. Maybe we can still do more. But when we hear some people argue that the Catholic Church in Nigeria is not doing enough in the face of the challenges in the country, we wonder about the fairness of such assessments. In the face of the challenges in Nigeria, some people are now proposing some solutions. These range from a stricter enforcement of the laws of the land, restructuring of the nation, disintegration of the nation, to even voting apathy. Among these, there is no generally agreed way out of the challenges confronting our country. But one thing we should not do, is to give up hope. That is what today's first reading reminds us. Rejoice with Jerusalem and be glad of her. All of you who love her, exalt with her. All of you who are mourning over her. In the same reading, God also promised, "Lo, I will spread prosperity over Jerusalem like a living river, and the wealth of the nations like an overflowing torrent." The time these words were written is quite interesting. Isaiah 66, from which today's second reading is taken, is the last book of Isaiah, which was written during Israel's second enslavement, that is, during the Babylonian captivity. This means that by the time the prophet Isaiah was asking the people of Israel to rejoice for the sake of Jerusalem, the city was still in ruins, having been previously destroyed and wasted by the Babylonians. Jerusalem by then looked hopeless, Yet God, through Isaiah, was able to proclaim hope, joy, and prosperity for Jerusalem. This should also be the story of our country, Nigeria. In the midst of the confusion and seeming hopelessness, we must never give up. To give up is to surrender to the forces of evil, but it is not in the mind of God for evil to be victorious. Victory belongs to God. Our Christian rewards, hope such as these, guarantees our rewards. This hope is always accompanied with the other cardinal virtues, namely faith and charity. We must continuously hope for God's promise of redemption, both here on earth and in the world to come, because God does not fail his people. However, we must also work cooperatively with God in order to overcome the obstacles confronting us towards reaching our Christian rewards. Similarly, with God on our side, we can overcome the challenges that our nation is facing. We should not only pray for our country, but also play active roles in our villages, towns, parishes, and local churches at home. The experiences we have acquired from living abroad could be helpful for the people at home, just as the local wisdom we gather from home is always helping us abroad. We ought to have a say about our nation, whether we live at home or abroad. Always remember the saying, east or west, home is the best, and there is no place like home. Therefore, pray that more and more Nigerians be obedient